You're watching Conference USA football on ESPN. It's homecoming Saturday in Denton, Texas, and the setting could not have been better. 62 degrees and not a cloud in the sky for the North Texas Mean Green and the UTEP Miners. Welcome up into Apogee Stadium, everybody, alongside Heckma Harrison. I'm Kyle Yeomans, where this is a North Texas team, Heckma, that's won 2 straight games after starting 1-6. A big reason for those wins have been these 4 tailbacks that really have gotten off to a great start. Top 10 rushing offense in the country. If you had one word to describe them, what would it be?
Kyle, it's going to be diverse. And Torrey, Johnson, Ragsdale, and Adehi, all 4 of these guys do something completely different from one another. But for the Mean Green, it's DeAndre Torrey who is the bell cow for this team.
All 4 of these guys expected to have carries this afternoon, and Torrey a little banged up with a couple ankles. As for UTEP, they've got 2 guys that they feel really comfortable about as well, with Ronald Awad and Dion Hankins, a dual backfield that Dana Dimmel is used to.
Yeah, absolutely, and he uses them like those old school Big 8 running backs, and both of these guys are very physical, Hankins being the more physical of the 2, but Awad is the kind of running back that will stick his foot in the ground and cut up the field. They use these guys like a sledgehammer. You'll see them, they have a battering ram style.
That is a style of offense that Dana Dimmel has run ever since he was back at Kansas State when Heckma Harrison played for him, also a former Mean Green linebacker as well. We've got plenty more to come. We're just getting started from Apogee Stadium. It's the UTEP Miners and the North Texas Mean Green. Kickoff is next on ESPN. Actually, I'd probably say more like the 30-yard line. There's Ethan Mooney right there wearing the number 0. First North Texas player to ever wear number 0. That rule change coming a couple years ago. I'd probably anticipate the 30-yard line more so
than the 40.
And North Texas on their own 30 would have to flip the field and gain about 40 yards here in the coming moments. Ani tucks it, can't get away, taken down just 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and we're under the 30-second mark. Breon Hayward was the one that got in there, and Ani looks a little limber getting up from that one. 3rd down and 8. Play action, pressure off the edge. Ani escapes, throws downfield, has a wide open man.
Oh my
Brown
God!
with a catch inside the 15-yard line. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Brown had not had a reception all year, and he quite possibly had the biggest one right there of the entire season. And the North Texas sideline is in hysterics.
Unbelievable. What a catch. He picked a fine time to pull out his best work. Wow.
DeTravion Brown from Shreveport, Louisiana. Ani creates the time. Brown makes the grab inside the 15.
Ani threw that like a javelin. Look at him get to the outside. He sees him streaking, catches him in stride. Boy, what that is.
The play of the year for North Texas if they can close out this win. Coming into the game, Brown had actually had 5 receptions, 88 yards, 85 of those coming last week in a come-from-behind win at Southern Miss. But by far, none as big as that one, 58 yards inside the 10-yard line. Ethan Mooney on from 27 yards out. With 10 seconds left, the kick is up, the kick is good. North Texas takes a 20-17 lead with 7 ticks remaining.
And he points to his veins to say, Yeah, I got ice in these things. He forgot all about the one he missed at the beginning of the game. He just wants to let you know, I got ice in my veins. But Austin Ani, man, what a throw. I say he threw that thing like a javelin. He threw that like a javelin. What a catch. And here I am thinking we're going to go to extended time here for overtime. Not so fast, my friend.
The Travion Brown, the hero in this one. Looked like Amari Cooper with the grab like that. You see the Cowboys fan in the stands, but with 7 ticks remaining, Brown may have cemented himself in North Texas homecoming lore with a grab like that, and one that Mean Green fans will remember for quite some time. But there are 7 seconds left, and we've already seen with that grab and with the arm of Gavin Hardison, anything is possible on a night like this. Dennis Barnes back to receive the kick. Justin Garrett back there as well. As Mooney, who just knocked through the 27-yard go-ahead field goal, prepares to kick it away. A bouncing kick, that's a live football. And now reversing Fields. He has some blockers. Past the 25, ball comes out. The game's over. The clock ran down just at the end of the return. UTEP doesn't even get a chance to answer. And North Texas comes out on top. 20-17, the final score.
Got to put that on the squib kick. Great squib kick. Was not returnable. Thought he was going to go into the end zone. It doesn't. And as soon as they touch the ball, the clock starts to wind down.
That was that early touch. That was crucial. The clock started immediately. And because of that, basically Barnes had to run to the sideline, couldn't get there in time, so he tried to toss the ball backwards. UTEP recovered it, but by that point, it was already pandemonium on the North Texas sideline. A huge win for the Mean Green as they stay alive in the hunt for bowl eligibility. It was homecoming tonight in Denton, and they were treated with a top-notch win and a gutsy win for the Mean Green. For our entire ESPN crew, producer Daniel Zufel, director Seth Biley, and spotter Nick Harris, and of course my partner Heckma Harrison, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long from Denton, Texas, where the final score, North Texas 20, UTEP 17 in an instant classic. All games airing live are archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Just the 4th time all year that North Texas has not come away with any points inside the red zone. It was Scruggs on the stop, but the defense with the Liberty Flames offense backs against the wall comes up big, and now North Texas back on the offensive end with great field position inside the Liberty 40-yard line. Ani steps back, throws that one to Pirtle over the middle. That one's caught for a first down. Pirtle was the one that tipped that ball inside the 5-yard line. Looked like it could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, Pirtle is as sure-handed as any receiver out here, so it was really surprising that he tipped that ball up, knowing that he had safety help over the top. That was an easy interception for the Flames, but just uncustomary for Pirtle to make a play like that.
They gave him a little bit of confidence, giving him the football back. Here's DeAndre Torrey rumbling his way inside the 15-yard line. Stone with the stop. But again, chunk yardage from North Texas. They've had really no issue with the yardage early on.
Look at Pirtle using the referee as an extra blocker to split those defenders for those extra yards.
Torrey again, trying to find a cutback lane. And again, Liberty closes that before it really opens up. Gain of 2 for the Mean Green, as now Torrey takes a play off. Adei back in there for Coach Seth Luttrell, 6th season for Luttrell, and of course an offensive-minded head coach ever since his time with the University of North Carolina prior to stopping here in Denton. Two receivers to both sides. Adei with some blockers, stays in bounds at least for a moment, and he steps out at the 3-yard line. Looked like for a moment he was going to have touchdown number 2 of the campaign.
Yeah, look at this play design and blocking up front for Adei as well. I mean, right now, this offensive line for the Mean Green is coming after this Flames defense.
Inside the 5 on 1st and goal. This one run up the middle. Excuse me, it was 3rd down and inches. He does get the 1st down. So now it'll be 1st down and goal from inside the 3.
You know, we talked a lot about this Flames defense and what they've done to in other contests. Right now, it's really strange to see these guys kind of back on their heels. Again, this offensive line is coming after him, and they are in man coverage on the field. So look for Austinani to try and get something on the outside down here, maybe in the end zone.
Torrey in the backfield. In the Wildcat, no Austinani. And then Torrey puts the ball on the turf. He picks it back up, rumbles his way in, and he reaches for the end zone. It wasn't how it was drawn up, but instead North Texas still gets on the board. UTSA tacks on a field goal, but that field goal was forced by that man right there, Grayson Murphy, off the edge. He's got 2 sacks today, and that North Texas defense, the ennobling motion. North Texas started 1-6. 1-6. Looked like all hope was lost for this North Texas team to reach the postseason. And when this one comes to a close, they will officially be bowl eligible. I mean, there were rumors, there were hums about security, job security with this coaching staff. And Seth Luttrell has not only silenced those, but if anything, he's had one of the more miraculous coaching jobs done throughout the entire college football landscape.
And I loved in the interview when you asked about what has been the key thing that has sparked the fire for them, and who are those guys? And he said, everyone, all of my coaches. He didn't want to point to just 1 or 2 guys, but specific team, and crediting all of them by pulling up their bootstraps and getting back in this thing so that they can be bowl eligible.
Here goes Adei off again, past the 1st down marker and all the way to the 38-yard line. But you're exactly right. He said it may sound cliche, Kyle, but guess what? It's everybody, because it's taken everybody to turn a season around from a 1-6 start. You lose at home against the Liberty team that at the time only had 1 loss and seemingly was a really good ball club, but you felt good. And he said that game was the turning point. He said that was the opportunity that we looked at and said, if we can execute discipline, we can beat some of the top teams in the country. And they've put that again on display here against top 25 UTSA. Here goes Adei. And the redshirt freshman barrels forward for about 9.
Yeah, Adei's got to be a little upset with himself because he had a touchdown down here, but he fumbled the ball, and just angry running by number 39 and finishing off this run. But, you know, going back to what you said, I definitely agree with that. It wasn't cliche because I think the most surprising thing to me was him pointing out the Liberty game. In a game that they lost.
A game they lost.
Yeah,
it was actually their last loss.
And I wanted to ask a follow-up question to that, but, you know, it was like, well, you're right. You know, that we're in and definitely had every opportunity to win it. And it's surprising that it could be the ones that you almost win that absolutely sparks the fire for this team.
This man has sparked a fire for that offense. Austinani down near the 40, and he's slow to get up. Another good run from him on a great read as he's a little banged up after an awkward tackle. And he has been one of the leaders on the field, in the locker room for this UNT team, what is now going to be a 5-game win streak.
Yeah, and Austinani, he's athletic as well, and that's a design run the whole way for him. We talked about his involved USA keying in on this running game. They're still getting him involved in the running game as well.
Adei plunges his way forward for 2. Ani still very tender on that leg and trying to put some pressure on it. DeAndre Torrey checks back in. Torrey, what a day he's had. 108 yards, 3 touchdowns, along of 22 in the game, averaging just under 5 yards a pop. Ikanka Ragsdale, how about 8 yards a carry? 18 for 142 and 2 touchdowns for Rag. Torrey on second down. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
And for Ikaika Ragsdale, the majority of those yards were for him was in the second quarter, where he was responsible for that long drive where they went down and actually scored. And so, man, he's been so tough on the inside, has Ragsdale been, but both of these guys are change of pace running backs for the Mean Green, and DeAndre Torrey, especially down here on the goal line where it looked as though he was tackled in the backfield, and he, quite frankly, made a cut that made everybody almost jump out of their seats.
Third. Or Texas spreads it out with 5 wide, including Torrey in the slot. They go his direction, and he catches it over the middle for a first down, loses his lid. And keeping that same energy through the second half. How about Torrey, the senior tailback, put in danger's way, put in harm's way over the middle of the field, and he still comes up with a big grab.
Yeah, that's tough. And we talk about him as a running back, but not enough is said about him as a receiver and his sure-handedness. But you're right, man. His helmet comes off. Thankfully, not another Roadrunner defender was there to try and place a hit on.
Yeah, that was tough to watch.